Let me start by saying, welcome to my first video. You win the opportunity to watch this video. Congratulations. This story took place around my junior year in high school. I was pretty introverted. I think I felt like if I stayed under the radar, I wouldn't get made fun of or picked on. And it worked. So would have self-confidence. Anyway, I had a small group of close friends and a girlfriend through all of high school, and most of the time was spent with them. My best friend, still to this day, is John. He's probably watching this video. What's up, John? Everyone say hi to John! I had a car and he didn't, so we would ride around together a lot. One day we were passing by a neighborhood and noticed a plastic turtle with a flag standing in the middle of the street. I found out later it's one of those slow down children at play things, but at the time neither one of us had seen one. And being the dumb teens we were, we decided we needed to have it. Before I continue, let me state that stealing is wrong, kids. Stay in school. That neighborhood was positioned between our two houses, so we would see it all the time driving by. It was calling out to us. I decided if we ever passed by really late at night, we would take it. A couple weeks later, after we had first noticed the turtle, I'm driving with my high school girlfriend, Tara. It was around 10:30 at night, and we were passing by that neighborhood, and I noticed the turtle was out. Totally spur of the moment, I decided now was the time to take it. I wasn't with John, and I knew it wasn't as late as I would have liked to be safe from anyone who might spot me, but I pushed these thoughts to the back of my mind and decided to go for it. I told Tara what I was about to do. She was not pleased. I pulled into the neighborhood, quickly deciding how I was going to take it without being super conspicuous. I turned off my lights, reversed up to the turtle, and popped my trunk. Then, making sure the coast was still clear, I jumped out, threw it in my trunk, and got back in the car. I turned my lights back on and pulled up to the main road to exit the neighborhood. At the exact same time I pulled up to the street, so did another car on the opposite side. All I could see were headlights, and I sat there for a moment, wondering if they had seen me or if they were just going about their normal business. He had seen me. I wasn't positive until he pulled into the street and then started to cross the whole thing. As he got closer, he started slowing down, coming to a stop right beside me. That was it. I hit the gas, hung a right, and started speeding away. Looking in my rearview mirror, I could see this car doing a fast reverse and then turn and start chasing me. At this point, I'm gunning it down the road and got a few seconds ahead of him since he had to turn around. A couple seconds later, I'm rapidly approaching a four-way intersection. There are cars stopped in both the lanes in front of me, and all the streetlights are red, which means it's sometime during that 3-second changeover between the lights. That's 3 seconds I know I don't have, as I can now see the headlights behind me catching up as I'm forced to slow down. Another couple seconds and this car will be close enough to get my plate number and turn what started as dumb fun into a potentially criminal charge. I knew even on the 50-50 chance that my lights were about to turn green that the cars in front of me would take too long to accelerate from being stopped. As I'm approaching these cars in front of me, I look to the right. This might be crazy enough to work, but it's a risk. There was a large open area on the corner, just sidewalk and grass, and I knew I could cut the corner and jump onto the next road. I remember very distinctly thinking in that moment, looking around at all the headlights sitting at the intersection, that any of them could be cops. Like I said before, it was a risk, but I was out of options. My analysis and decision all took place in a couple of seconds because all the lights were still red as I decided to hop the curb. So I hopped it, drove over the sidewalk and some grass, and popped onto the road. I look in my rearview mirror again. I see the pursuit car slow down and get stuck in the same spot I just was. A second passes. He's not willing to follow. Ha, take that. I then wait a few more seconds looking at my mirrors. No blue lights. I breathe a sigh of relief. I look over at Tara and she has her eyes closed like she's asleep. I asked her what she was doing. She told me she was pretending to be asleep so if we got caught or pulled over she could claim innocence. After all that, I realized the heat could still be on if the pursuer had identified my car in any way. So just in case I got pulled over on the way home, I decided to ditch the turtle in a nearby safe spot. It was a short-lived victory. John and I celebrated and took stupid pictures with it, but after a few months of it just sitting in my room, I started to feel a bit guilty, so I brought it back. I did notice after I returned it that it was never left out again. Thanks for listening to some of my dumb teenage shenanigans. If you're watching this and your plastic turtle was stolen and then returned 3 months later, forgiveness is a virtue.